Kaschub. You're going to hear from Zander. Zander is one of our very own CEA members and a member of JESPA Education Support.
For the last 10 years, I've worked as a school food service worker. And I've seen firsthand what cuts to education funding can do. Not just to budgets, but to real people. I've seen kids come through my lunch line hungry, stressed, and struggling. The families that are barely getting by. I've seen the relief on a child's face when they get a warm meal. Sometimes it's the only meal they get that day. 2 years ago, Proposition FF passed, providing free meals for all of our students. But now, cuts to education funding threaten the life of that program and the success of my students. I've seen my co-workers struggling, having to work multiple jobs just to afford health care, having to suffer obscene levels of income inequality, wondering if they'll be next when the state makes cuts, because we all know when they cut our funding, ESPs are the first to go. We are the lowest paid workers in education, but without us, schools cannot function. Who feeds our kids? Who keeps schools clean and safe? We do. Yet we are treated as if we don't matter. I am here to tell you, we matter. All right. If the state won't recognize that, we will make them listen. Canceling school is not a good way to be heard. Well, how about you come outside and tell that to our faces? You tell us to remember that nearly 70% of third graders can't read or do math on grade level. So how about instead of proposing cuts, you tax the fucking rich? Every time there's a budget crisis, guess what happens? They tell us there's no money for education. The truth is, it's not that we don't have enough. It's that too much of it is hoarded by the ultra wealthy. Every dollar, while teachers and ESPs are working 2 or 3 jobs just to survive, while children go to school hungry, the wealthiest in our society continue to accumulate outrageous levels of wealth. Money they will never need, money they will never spend, and never put back into our communities.
Tax the rich! Stop paying for bills! Stop paying for bills!
Working people, those who educate, care for and serve our students are barely making enough to live on, beg for funding, while CEOs take home bonuses that could pay for every para-educator in our state. So let's be real, this is not a funding issue, this is a justice issue. They aren't cutting programs for rich white folks. They're cutting programs for black and brown kids. They're closing schools in rich white neighborhoods. They're closing schools in poor black and brown neighborhoods. It's not just unfair, it's immoral. We're here today because we refuse to stay silent. When we fight for a living wage, we fight for the bus driver who can't afford health care. When we demand fully funded schools, we fight for the paraprofessional who works 2 jobs just to pay rent. When we push back against corporate interests, we fight for the students who depend on our schools for meals, support, and a future. So alone they ignore us. Together they cannot stop us. This rally cannot be the end of our fight. It has to be the beginning. I heard on CPR this morning that Donald Trump intends to sign an executive order today that dismantles the Department of Education. Now is not the time to sit back and watch. We almost do our part to fight for the future of public education. Show up at school board meetings, demand funding for ESP's teachers and students. Push your legislation that keeps your schools funded. Organize to end Tabor. Hold your elected officials accountable. Vote out anybody who puts billionaires over schools. We are the ones that make schools run. We are the ones who take care of students, and we will not be cut.